Cheers to World Water Day. I just had a sip, but we're going to put that on the side there to absorb the frequencies. Namaste. So Noni Snowflake here, and welcome to the Shinto Yoga experience. There's a lot going on for us, but the nerve pain is easing a little bit, which is fantastic, but it's through effort of us being really careful. We said what we ate yesterday, and today we're going to attempt to just do water for World Water Day. But if not, it will just we're then just going to attempt to do liquids, and if we still don't manage to do liquids, then we have got a choice of either applesauce and yogurt or some peas and rice that we had yesterday, and that will be the same process for the next couple of days, and then hopefully our systems will get used to it, and then we'll just do water and really detox the body and purge the body of this some of these final rounds of this chapter of toxins. We've also been wearing our supports definitely around our pelvis, of which we forgot to put on just now. We were going to, and our stomach ones. So we might even sleep in our stomach ones as well, because they hold the stomach in, and in holding the stomach in, that stops the stomach expanding, so it's kind of contracted with the supports, which creates slack for the head rather than pulling on the nervous system in the head and the teeth, where it's very sensitive, and will continue to be for this whole season of Aries, because Aries rules the head and the face. Because it's the sun, it's the external head and face rather than the internal head and face when it's the moon. At least that's our beliefs and perceptions and understanding of it from our experiences. Did we say welcome to the Shinto Yoga experience with Shinto self-empowerment for one of our fun tools for our shadow dance with life? Meditative daily poetry reading with numerology, colour and sound therapy. So today in the numerology we've got number 44, and we were talking about the number 34 actually in one of the other ones, and 44 is the number of environment, and it always makes us think of Bruce Lipton. And when we think of Bruce Lipton, we think of epigenetics. Epi meaning above, so above genetics. So that's saying it's nurture over nature. So we do have a blueprint and a predisposition of what could be, but that will only transpire depending on one's lifestyle as a child and one's lifestyle as an adult, and how they surround themselves and how they nurture themselves, and the environment they create for themselves externally and internally within the body. So you're talking about your yamas and your niyamas, the first two limbs of Hatha Yoga here. And on the predisposition, how you live your life depends on whether those genes that are in your family lineage to maybe, let's say, get that certain type of cancer or something, they will only get switched on by the synapses at the end of the nerves, depending on the lifestyle you live. So if you do choose to live a lifestyle of moderation and optimum resonant frequencies by providing the body the materials that the body needs to regenerate, rejuvenate and heal, etc., then one is less likely to get that gene turned on and therefore get that, whatever it is, cancer, etc. Now for children that get cancer, etc., you have everyone's different, and some people are more empathic and more attuned to the subtle energetic body. And if one is more attuned to the subtle energetic body and they're empathic and they are this as a child and they have no one around them to make them aware and educate them what's going on, then they will be the, what's the word for this? They will be when they're in a family or in a room of people, they'll be the one that harmonises the energy in that room by absorbing because they will be able to feel the energies of the other people's internal worlds that the majority of people are unaware about or in denial about. Denial just means being unaware. So how we become aware about the things we're in denial about is by listening to other people and what they say about us and questioning it and really being honest with ourselves to see what perspective they're coming from, and is what they're saying true, or is it just a projection of their internal world, or is it true because it's a projection of their internal world and you're both resonating on those frequencies. And so as a child, that means that you just completely fulfill the role for other people, to make other people feel okay, because as a child you want to feel okay, and you want to also please other people, and you look up to your parents and your siblings and teachers, etc., and friends. And so if this is your programming, which is to make other people feel okay and to balance the energies, then you never really find your sense of self and who you are in the world without these other unbalanced energies around you. But that's why when as an adult it does become harder to reprogram and change this, because it's so deeply programmed into you. But it is doable with a lot of perseverance and persistence and dedication, and drive and want and desperation. We're speaking from experience here. Now, for a child that then gets cancer, what's happening is that child is super hypersensitive to the energies, super attuned to the energies, and doesn't know how to absorb other people's negative energies to make them feel, not absorb other people's negative energies to make them feel better. So therefore they absorb all their subtle energetics of unhealthy frequencies, which then creates the disease in the body. Or if the gene and the disease is manifested enough through the generations, then it will, then the child will be, or baby, it will be exceptionally challenging to rectify it. But we believe in miracles and that miracles are possible. And this is why for people that aren't attuned to the subtle energetic bodies and aren't aware of this stuff in themselves, is to educate yourselves and have an open mind, and to understand that we are ruled by our belief systems until we choose to be ruled by our value-based systems, which is led by the heart rather than the mind. And to realise that without intention and not on purpose, we do harm to other people accidentally sometimes. But we can choose to stop doing harm to other people accidentally sometimes by waking up to ourselves, by being honest to ourselves, and by constantly wanting to become more self-aware, constantly wanting to grow. It's the time of spring, and wanting to be the best version of you for you and your kids and the people around you, so that you don't accidentally and unintentionally cause unnecessary pain on others because of ignorance or denial. This is a future that we envision. We understand might be quite a long time lapse for it to happen, and it may not even be in our lifetime, but we will do everything in our power to share our knowledge from our experiences and what we're growing and learning every day, for other people to take what they wish to take from it or not. And if one gets triggered, this is also your biggest guide to teach you what you need to heal in yourself, because we don't recognise anything in anyone else, be it something we perceive that we like or are jealous of it or we want, or something that we don't like. If there's something we don't like in someone, it's just because there's an aspect of our inner self that we don't like in us about it. And it's a lot easier to be in denial and not honest with ourselves than it is someone else. Other people tend to generally recognise things in others before they do in themselves. And that's how we've used others to be our teachers on this massive journey of life so far. And we are 41 now. And on this process, it's taken us into complete isolation and hermit mode, because our body has got in so much physical pain and was breaking on every level with the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, the fibromyalgia, blah-de-blah. On the mental level with the DID, the rigidity of the autism, of being highly functioning or low functioning, and it going from extreme to extreme. So we've navigated through masses and learned a lot, and I'll continue to learn, because one never stops learning. One is always learning, and one can learn the most amazing, profound things from the people that are really old and already lived this life, and also the people that are really young, and also the people that are perceived really vulnerable and weak. Because actually the people that are vulnerable, if they're not stuck in their victim and they've come into acceptance with gratitude and they can see the gifts of it, they're incredibly strong and courageous with that vulnerability. I know there's alters in us that still need to hear that. So that's number 44. A lot came out from there for number 44 for us. It's a double dose made up of a double dose of 4, which is the number of Mother Gaia, nature, grounding, nurturing, loving, optimum resonant balance frequencies. If we can attune and harmonise ourselves, regulate ourselves to Mother Gaia's seasons and rhythms and cycles, and also then harmonise ourselves with our own internal rhythms and cycles, circadian rhythms and cycles, etc., and understand that we have the internal version of our own seasons as well. It's also the number of structure and foundation and perseverance, because in this game of life and dancing with the shadows and the aspects of ourselves that we are unaware of, it does take a lot of drive and perseverance, but there needs to be moderation and balance as well. Together they equal 8, the number of balance, the number of infinity. 4 is a masculine number, it's the number of the Emperor in the tarot, and 8's a feminine number, and it's either the number of justice, which is Libra energies and balance again, or it's the number of strength. 8 and 11 tend to get swapped around. 11 is a masculine number as well, because it's made up of 2 1s, but it breaks down to 2, a balance, patience, choices, which is a combination of masculine and feminine. And 8's, so it's the number of strength or justice, but it's also number of manifestation, because we can't manifest and bring what we want into physical reality because to do that, the external energies mirror our internal energies. So if we've got imbalances and congestion in our internal energies, then certain things that we want, we may not be able to manifest into the physical reality down through the alchemical process, through the chakras of creation and ideas and imagination in the mind, down through the voice and expressing that out loud, the throat chakra, blue, down through the heart, so that there's this pure intention and heart value based intention behind what one wants to manifest. So it's for the individual's highest good, humanity's highest good, and Mother Gaia, Mother Nature's highest good all together. And then it'll come down through the solar plexus, where the fire, yellow, the empowerment, the control house, where the fire will really burn away what needs to be burnt away, so that then when you get to the second chakra, your emotional body, those emotions can rise to the surface, and you can really purify and release old emotions and old attachments or future attachments, so that whatever one does choose to manifest, they're manifesting it in the moment by living their life to the best version of them in the moment, irrespective and unattached to any outcome of the future. And then stuff will completely flow and balance and settle, and that energy from being vast and dispersed and infinite will condense down, become compressed, and actually materialize into your physical reality. Wow, there's lots coming out of us today. We've been on it again. We've continued to be on it with all our water and our sucking of ice cubes and our cooling of our face, because we have to. We've even got our neck brace on at the moment, and we're all in blue, except for some red knickers to ground us in and counterbalance the blue. But red and blue make purple, which brings in the whole Because from one perspective in us, red's the root chakra and blue's the throat chakra, but from another perspective from one of our altars, your red and your blue is your left vagus nerve and your right vagus nerve. Your right vagus nerve being the red, the masculine, the active, the fight, flight, freeze, and your left vagus nerve being the feminine, the receptive, your rest and digest. And together they make the whole of the body and the connective tissue and the fascia for the electromagnetic signals and currents to go through, connecting you into your crown chakra. It can also be on the chemical body of the circulatory system in the blood, where the red blood is the oxygenated active blood, and the blue blood as being the blood that's been used up, received, gone through the system, done what it's needed to do, and then it's taken time out, sitting back, bringing the rest of the carbon dioxide and the information and everything that's learned back to a settling point until the cycle starts again. And that chemical body is your second and third chakra from what we understand it to be at the moment. And it's also the elimination, because you're eliminating stuff from the body. So you have elimination of waste through the body is obviously through your bottom and feces. It's through oxygen for your mouth and your nose, but it's also from sweating and all your skin pores in your body. So in talking, lavender is the colour to connect you to your body, mind and soul. And as we're talking now in this present moment, after doing our sound meditation at the start and a bit of sound healing as well, because the sound meditation is a combination of sound meditation and sound healing, because the sounding is releasing frequencies from the body, and when we sound inwards, we're also drawing frequencies into the body. So it looks like we're actually a lot more connected to our body, mind and soul and heart than we realise we are. But that's the whole point of doing these, to make ourselves present rather than past, present and future present, and to bring us into full co-consciousness, full awareness to co-consciousness. And what yoga does when one starts doing the physical asanas, which is your asanas. So your first limb is your yamas, your external moral conduct. Your second limb is your niyamas, your internal moral conduct. And your third limb is asana, the physical postures for alignment of the physical body. But if it doesn't work aligning your body through the postures, the physical body, one can align themselves through the unseen, the subtle energetic body, the subatomic body, rather than the physical body of the atomic body. And that's what we did, because yoga had to break us through the atomic structure, through the physical structure, and then to get to our centre, to realise we had the DID and we had many centres and not actually one harmonic central pivot of balance centre. And so then that we align the energetic body and are able to do that through shape-shifting because of the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and subluxing and dislocating the physical body, through the fibromyalgia, which makes new pathways if the old pathways are blocked, and a combination of other things, so that then the more we align our energetic body, the physical body then goes into place too, and is an exceptionally painful experience. But we are releasing the physical pain of being our guide, but this takes time, and we are feeling that this is happening more and more all the time as the physical pain changes the type of physical pain that it is. And we've got the lavender here, which we've had in our summer house. It has kind of lost the colour, apart from the middle section really. And in our altar, it's the middle section that needs sorting as well. We've taken all the stuff out of it that was a bit of a mess, and now it's just got a Ganesh sandstone little model, our incense and a bunch of crystals. So it's really purifying the centre of our altar, and there's still colour here. So when crystals break on us, we've got crystal healing in here now as well. When crystals break on us, it means the crystal has done its job. And it's received the information from you and given you back the information that you need in and out and out and in of your constructive feedback loop of information, in and out of the senses and out and in of the senses. And we have our 5 physical senses, but then we've got our unseen 6th energetic multi-sense. And that there's about 8 of them at the moment, and this is like the clairvoyancy, your psychicness and all of those. But for us, we use different terminology. And so for us, it is our centre bit that we still have to have a lot of dancing with to sort it out on us, which is what we're currently doing at the moment. And this process of bringing in these cards is being immense. So the blue was yesterday, and it was awakened the healing power, and we've got green round our neck as well. I can't remember what the green was now. I think it was something to do with the nervous system. So we'll read, these tend to go on quite long now. We're not sure how long, but I think if we push this live button, it tells us. Yeah, okay, so we're already on 26 minutes. So we read from the book first, The Secret Language of Your Body by Inna Segal, and then there might be a bit of repetition, but we'll read The Secret Language of Colour Cards guidebook that relates to these cards. And there's normally some affirmations and stuff to do there as well. And some people say affirmations and visualization doesn't work, but it's only because they're so detached from the subtle energetic body. Whereas it does actually work. It just takes more time for them, but it feels like it's not working to them because they are connected to the gross movement rather than the micro movement. And it is about less is more. And the fourth limb of yoga, because we're on number 4, is pranayama, rhythmic breath control. And it's the pranayama, it's our breath that connects us to our mind, body and soul and the cosmos and unity. So when we learn to breathe properly, which means being able to function all thirds of each lung, and breathing from our belly and our pelvis up to our chest and right down again, taking in those deep breaths and exhaling as well, which we're getting to, but we can't exhale ourselves too much because we get to a certain point of exhaling and it taps into our protruding discs in our lower back, and then the nerve pain's insane. And then there's the sin with the fin with inhaling. So we've been, since the seizures, our body's taught us so much, and one of them is about this panting. And it's fabulous that we've finally been able to get all this information out, because there's been lots of this information going around inside from altar to altar over these past 4 years. And it's just not been able to be communicated or expressed because of our processing language disorder, our rare dyslexia. But since the psych ward and the psych ward experience teaching us a lot, which we didn't need to be in a mental institute, but we wouldn't allow us, the altars wouldn't allow us to go into hospital, and we didn't know how to communicate to others what we needed because we didn't know what we needed, and we did know what we needed, it would come out wrong. So the psych ward happened also because it's one of our biggest fears. So there's a combination of experiences in that, and we will do our best to share our story and share our information of what the solutions are for people in our situation, because we know that we're not that special, that we're the only one out there like this. We know that we are exceptionally rare and the rare of the rare, so there will be people that resonate with us on different things, whether it's the autism, the DID, the POTS, the fibromyalgia, the EDS, etc., etc., or whether it's a combination of a few of them together, or the child incest, sexual abuse, or the mum suicide and just growing up with one parent. There's lots of different things in us that we're actually finally managing to bring all together to be able to reach everyone. Because in yoga, someone with EDS cannot go really to a normal yoga class unless the teacher knows about EDS, because it will do one more harm. So from our perspective and all that we've been through doing our younger yoga teacher training, doing it twice, we never actually qualified because that wasn't what we were meant to do for our journey, but we did pass the bit that everyone thought we wouldn't and that we ourselves thought we wouldn't, which was our personal practice, because our teaching was really good. And so from our perspective, it is, well, you can teach a class to someone that's got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and it's suitable for everyone, and it actually makes everyone in the class more aware and slowly more attuned to the subtle energetic body. So for us, it's actually more profound for everyone. And so that takes us into wanting to create stuff that includes everyone, irrelevant of any type of background or education or age or race or colour, etc., etc. Because it's about inclusion, it's about involving, which takes us to our journey of involution, because involution is the Sanskrit philosophy for evolution inwards rather than evolution externally. And we've just gone into Mercury time of communication. And communication isn't just through the mouth. You've got body language, eye language, touch, all kinds of different expressions of communication. Simple computer programming communication, the binary 0 and the 1. So in the book, mauve, a pale lavender-like colour, connects you with your intuition, awaken your inspiration, and expands your spiritual awareness. Mauve can help you let go of heavy, dense energies and lighten up. Mauve, a colour of softness, gentleness, and allowance, creates a sense of peace and tranquility. It helps with eye and ear problems, improves your memory and ability to concentrate, and is useful in clearing stuckness, giving you new insights into challenging situations. Mauve is also helpful in opening the heart after heartbreak. Too much mauve can make you feel disconnected with physical reality, lightheaded, and sentimental and confused about the present. So that's really fascinating, and these are going to get long. Because we are all about the interconnectedness of everything and how everything does interconnect through number, colour, sound, frequency, sight, taste, touch. So we are now going to continue, but we're just going to add a little something else to this. We've lost one of our blue crystals from yesterday in the light there. Lavender essential oil. And we have our crystals down our top that were in the one yesterday. That's one of them for grounding and structure. So that the frequencies that it absorbed yesterday, because this is like creating a portal when we do these, and then we connect them into our heart and through the colour in our clothes, etc. This is what we're waking up to and becoming more and more aware about. 44, I think, is the very last card in the card. Oh no, there's 45 in the pack. But it's the second to last, violet being the last. 44, lavender. Connect to body, mind and soul. Lavender is a subtle colour that sharpens your intuitive abilities, brings out leadership qualities, and strengthens the connection between your body, mind and spirit. Excuse us. That's great though, because all our reflexes are kicking in again. They all started dying and not working. We normally used to pass wind when we ate, but now we're actually not eating much, and we haven't eaten anything today, for instance, and we're probably not going to. It's just going to be water, but we're actually starting to pass wind, which is excellent because there's a lot of the trapped air in the guts that we need to process and get out. Connect to heaven and earth with lavender threads of light. So visualise those lavender threads of light coming in and out of the video screen, all these different lavenders and modalities coming through and round, coming in for your head, coming in for your feet, in for every little single skin pore in your body, all your little hairs. Imagine that they're lavender. Connection. To feel whole, we need to experience the connection between our body, mind and soul. And we're going to add in heart. Body, heart and soul and mind. Mind being the slave, not the master. Because when we are in the mind, it's about belief systems. And so if you have opposing belief systems to other people, that can cause dissonance and disconnection. Whereas when we're in our heart first, it's a value-based system, and we're compassionate and open to other people's belief systems, and we can still be friends and have with them and have connection and have them in our life, because the mind's our slave, not the master. To feel whole, we need to experience the connection between our body, heart, soul and mind. Imagine a lavender thread of light that links your body to your mind, and your mind to your soul, and your soul to your heart, and your heart to your body. Observe how this lavender thread connects your feet to the energy of the earth, and your mind to the higher realm. Focus on the joy of being yourself. Let's focus on the joy of being ourselves, authentically, transparently, with integrity, in touch with heaven while on earth and grounded. Say, Divine Spirit, strengthen my connection to my own divinity and allow me to see the divinity in others. Thank you. Divine Spirit, strengthen our connection to our own divinity and allow us to see the divinity in others. Thank you. Divine Spirit, strengthen our beautiful viewer, listeners' connection to their own divinity and allow them to see the divinity in others. Thank you. Yes, this is you, my darlings, dear ones. Divine Spirit, strengthen their connection to their own divinity and allow them to see the divinity in others. Thank you. Divine Spirit, strengthen all of our connections to our own divinity and allow us to see the divinity in others. Thank you. Divine Spirit, thank you for strengthening mine and theirs and all of ours connection to mine and theirs and all of ours own divinity and allowing us and them and me to see the divinity in others. So much appreciation and gratitude to you, Divine Spirit. Thank you. So, we're not going to read much from this book. We've got a couple of them. The Fragrant Mind. But we're just going to read out the index. So you've got lavender, absorption of infrared radiation, anxiety, bereavement, better performance, breakdown, burns treatment, calming anger, character, confusion, contentment, counteracting negative attributes, countries of origin, delirium, tremens, dementia, depression, distillation, emotional burnout, emotional healing, emotional violence, exhaustion, hospitals, hysteria, insomnia, irritability, massage with meditation, mood swings, moodiness, in offices, pain relief, panic, personality profile, phobias, for positive attributes, positive states, quarrelsomeness, rage, restfulness, schizophrenia, sedative, stimulant, sedative effects, self-image, in shock-induced amnesia, trauma stress, trauma, visualization. And then it's got a lavender and rose combination. So these are all the natural and alternative ways one can balance and harmonise one's body without putting stuff in them that's going to cause more side effects and damages on top of what is going to apparently help heal. But we believe it actually helps suppress and repress rather than heal, and then destroys your gut and intestines. So this is the Fragrant Pharmacy, so more for body than mind. Lavender, page 23. Lavender is capable of many important jobs and is a delight to use. Every home should have a bottle of lavender, if no other oil, because it is so very effective in the treatment of burns and scalds. Lavender oil is a natural antibiotic, antiseptic, antidepressant, sedative, and detoxifier, which promotes healing and prevents scarring, and also stimulates the immune system and contributes to the healing process. By stimulating the cells of a wound to regenerate more quickly, although not known specifically as a circulatory stimulant, lavender oil certainly seems to ally the effects of clinical shock and as a mood tonic and antidepressant. It helps to deal with the psychological shock of injury. It also has a multitude of other qualities which make it a truly indispensable oil. So you may want to buy some lavender for your bathroom cupboard. Tea tree oil is a very good one as well, along with peppermint. So now we finally get to the daily poetry reading. These are surprisingly going on quickly. It's like, for us, it just feels like minutes are passing rather than like 45 minutes almost. And we're on the 22nd today, and 22 is actually the number of intuition. So the master numbers are 11, 22 and 33. 44 is not considered a master number. I'm not sure quite why that is. Maybe because things always work in 3 or something. But 22 is the master builder number. 11 is the master number of service. And 33 is communication. And I think it's like the master number of something to do with connecting with divine. But we aren't able, it's one of the other altars in that. For some reason we don't become connected to all of that. So 22 is also the number of intuition. So it's the 22nd of March, Spring, by William Blake. Blake's collection of poems, Songs of Innocence and Experience, is celebrated as a great experiment in poetry, where he offsets the plain songs of joy, of innocence, with the complicated reflections found in experience. But even in the simpler poems, we find Blake playing around with rhythms, such as the 3-syllable rhymed lines in this poem about spring. Sound the flute, now it's mute. Birds delight, day and night. Nightingale in the dale, lark in the sky, merrily, 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 to welcome in the year. Little boy, full of joy, little girl, sweet and small, cock does crow, so do you, merry voice, infant noise, merrily, merrily, to welcome in the year. Little lamb, here I am, come and lick my white neck, let me pull your soft wool, let me kiss your soft face. Merrily, merrily, we welcome in the year. Sighing, sounding, shaking, singing, swimming it away. So much appreciation and gratitude to you for joining us in the Shinto Yoga experience with Shinto self-empowerment. I'm Zanoni Snowflake. Namaste.